Hello everyone. In class 10th, I had started chapter number 1 GST in my previous video. So in the second part, we are going to study input tax credit and the questions related to it. So let's get started with the second part. So input tax credit we will understand with the help of an example. Let us see the example. Let A, B and C be three traders belonging to different states. So this is the case of interstate transaction. Trader A sells goods to trader B for rupees 500. So that means cost price of trader A will be this. Selling price of trader B will be this, not this cost price. Trader B sells the same goods further to the third party trader C at a profit of rupees 200 and GST slab is 12%. So let's see. So this is the case of interstate transaction. For trader A, selling price is rupees 500 and while selling the particular good, trader A must have charged IGST from trader B, which is 12% of 500. So 60 rupees is the GST charged by trader A. So trader B must have paid rupees 560 to trader A. Now the cost price of trader B without the tax is 500 and the selling price, since he has done a profit of rupees 200, so the selling price at which he is selling to trader C will be 700 and in this case he will charge from trader C 12% of the selling price. So 12% is rupees 84. That means trader C has purchased the particular good of rupees 700 and paid GST of rupees 84, right? Now observe one thing. Trader B, while purchasing the goods, he has paid the GST 60 rupees and while selling the same goods, he has charged the GST from the customer as 84 rupees. So that means there is a difference in the tax, and this difference is how much? 84 minus 60, 24 rupees again he has to credit in the government's account. This is known as input tax credit. Understood this point? This tax liability on B, the middle party always pay the input tax credit. That means, let us see again, the middle party has purchased the goods at this GST and while charging the GST from the other party, he is charging rupees 84. So the difference in both the GSTs will go back to the government, and this tax liability on B, that means trader B will send rupees 24, the difference in the tax, back to the government, and this difference is known as input tax credit. So rupees 60 was the tax on purchase. Only for trader B we are talking about. While he was purchasing the goods, he has paid 60 rupees tax. That means this is the tax on cost price, tax on purchase. Now while selling the same goods, he has charged the GST 84 rupees. That was tax on sale, that is tax on selling price. Now the tax on purchase is known as input tax and the tax on sale is known as output tax. So the formula for input tax credit will be output tax minus input tax, which is tax on output tax was tax on selling price while selling the product, and input was tax on CP while purchasing the product. So in other words, if we say tax on SP minus CP will be same as tax on profit. That means ITC will work for tax on profit also. So in this particular question we had a profit of rupees 200. So only if we have to find the input tax credited by B, so we can directly find by the tax on profit, that is 12% of 200. 12 by 100 into 200, which is 24 rupees straight away. I hope this point is clear. Input tax credit is tax output minus input, or while solving we have got ITC is equal to tax on the profit. So if in the particular question there is a profit charged, you can directly apply GST on that profit to get input tax credited. Let us do some more examples for clear understanding. Some important points about ITC, input tax credit, also known as net GST payable. End user. End user means the consumer which uses the product. That means the person who does not sell the product further. So end user, the one who is using or consuming the goods and services, cannot claim the GST paid by him. For example, we have a manufacturer manufactures the product not for the use of his own. So why will he pay the GST? He sell the goods to the dealer. Dealer is the one who buy the goods from a manufacturer and sell it further with some profit. And then we have end user, the consumer. So only dealer can claim the net GST payable, because manufacturer will supply the products to dealer at some GST, and then dealer add his own profit and then sell the good to the end user on that particular GST slab. So only dealer can apply for net GST payable. The middle party can always apply for the net GST payable. The consumer, end user, cannot claim GST paid by him. Right? Exercise 1B, question 2. Goods and services are sold from Agra to Kanpur. Both are same state, intrastate, for 20,000. Then from Kanpur to Jaipur. Now UP to Rajasthan, interstate, IGST. If the rate is this, profit made at Kanpur will be this. Find the net GST payable by the dealer of Kanpur. So that means first the product sold from Agra, UP to Kanpur, and then in the end Jaipur, Rajasthan. Alright, so at Agra the selling price of the product is 20,000, and because it is intrastate transaction, so CGST and SGST will be applicable. Both are 9% of 20,000, which is 1800, and same here. So total GST will be CGST plus SGST 3600 rupees. Now at Kanpur the cost price is 20,000 plus the tax. So cost price is only this, the actual cost price of the product. Now he has included Kanpur's dealer, included the profit of rupees 5,000. So the selling price will be 25,000. 20 plus 5,000, the selling price 25,000. Now since UP to Rajasthan is interstate, so this time IGST will be applicable. 18% of the selling price, which is 25%. That means this is 4,500. Now first part, the net GST payable. The net GST payable is input tax credit. So net GST which Kanpur has to pay will be output tax, that is tax on sale minus tax on purchase. So output minus input tax. 4,500 minus 3,600, 900. There is an alternative way of finding net GST, which is tax on profit. Tax percent is 18%. 18% of the profit. Profit is just 5,000. So directly we will get 900 from here. This all is just for explanation in this case. Right. Now the cost of goods and services at Jaipur. Now since Kanpur is selling at a profit and GST, so the cost price Jaipur will purchase from Kanpur with the profit value plus the tax, which is, so this is the answer of second part. Right. So if the question is only asking for net GST, you can go for this alternative way. But if the question is asking something else also, so anyways this functioning has to be done to find the final answer at Jaipur. Next, question number 6. A dealer X in Hapur, UP supplies the services and goods of 50,000. That means for dealer X in UP, the selling price is rupees 50,000 to some other dealer Y in the same city. So this is a case of intra-state transaction. So in this case, rate of GST is 28%. So CGST and SGST while selling the product will be applicable. So half, 14% of 50,000, and same here. So the values are 7,000 each. So the total GST paid from Hapur to UP is 14,000 rupees. So this is the input tax on purchase. Now the dealer Y again in UP. The question says it is in the same city. The cost price of the product will be the selling price of the previous. Made a profit of 20,000. So the selling price will be 70,000. And since UP to Calcutta, dealer Z, they are two different states. So now dealer Y to Z is a case of interstate transaction. So at this stage, IGST will be applicable. 28% of SP 70,000. So the value is 19,600. So this is the output. The tax on sale. Sale and purchase we check only for the middle dealer, middle user. So dealer Y, the tax while purchasing the goods will be this input, and tax while selling the goods will be this output. So here we need to find output and input tax. So the output, first part, output tax will be rupees 19,600 from here, and input tax will be 14,000. Then second part, net GST payable. So directly net GST we can find from output minus input. So 19,600 minus 14,000 will be equal to rupees 5,600. This is the answer. So suppose in this particular question, if you go for net GST as GST on profit, in that case you won't be able to classify the output and input tax. So you have to go for all this procedure. Now I hope ITC is clear to you. One of the most important topics for real life as well as for class 10th exams also. So now you can continue with the other questions of 1B and doubts during the class.